It's been a long time since I had a friendship breakup. The last friendship breakup I had was 3 years ago, and I haven't seen them since, other than at a Botox appointment, because I used to take her to the girl that does my Botox, but that's another story. And honestly, I still think about that person every day, and you can still think about a friend that you're no longer friends with. Like, that doesn't mean that you're broken, that doesn't mean that you need to go and be friends with them again, it doesn't mean that you were in the wrong. It just means that you are a beautiful person with a loving heart, and you cherish the memories that you two had together, even if it's not meant to be that you are to be friends again. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to resurrect a friendship just because you missed that person. If it ended with good reason and you feel like you need to stand by your guns, you can still hold by your decision, even if it pains you, because I think about her nearly every other day. Like, we were thick as thieves, and it is sad, and people might think life's too short, but stand your ground.
Listen, when you truly love and care about somebody, you're going to want to protect them at all costs. Y'all ever seen those friends that as soon as they fall out, they start airing each other business out, right? And it's like, why would you do that? Because they were never friends in the first place. It was never genuine. I'm that kind of person. I don't care how bad you dogged me. I could never feel right within myself to just go air your business out to everybody. Like, that is so crazy to me. Even though the thought may cross, like, girl, you got some nerve, right? But I just want to encourage y'all to let God fight your battles, because he do more damage than you could do. I promise you that. Y'all be blessed.
I'm in the season of letting friends go left and right. Don't judge me. I got microneedling done on my under eye, and so there's a little situation happening here with the bruising. I feel like I keep seeing the let them theory on relationships, but for the last 6-7 months especially, I've been exercising the let them theory on friendships, and I find it to be equally beneficial and honestly a weight lifted off of my shoulders. I just feel like I'm in the stage of life where it's like, if you move weird, if you have tantrums, if you do one thing and then say another and lie to my face, I'm just gonna let you go without really a good fight. I'm just like, I don't have time for this. You could be a friend of 15 years, and if your fiance is acting weird with me, you're cut. You could be a friend of 8 years, but you stopped making the effort, and then I realized that I was watering a dead plant. You're cut. Could be getting married this year and then turning into a bridezilla, and I'm like, I don't really want to be a part of this anymore, because I'm seeing you in a different season of life, and my notes are not comparing to how you were before, so you're cut. You just trims the fat out of your life, and it feels so nice, because I'm like, cool. Don't want to be that person that carries dead weight through each season of life and loss and happiness and whatnot. So whoever makes an effort makes an effort. Otherwise, like, I'm not doing this. I'm just not fighting or groveling or doing my best to be malleable just to keep people around. Like, again, you act weird, you're out. Maybe I'm alone in this, but it's a peaceful place to be.
One of the saddest realizations is linking up with an old friend and then realizing mid-hangout, like, you have not grown. You've not grown. Like, I really gotta leave your ass in the past. Like, we can't go, damn, I really fuck with you, but you've not grown. Like, they're still stuck in that same old ass mindset, doing the same old stupid ass shit. Like, I really did not grow, y'all.
Falling off with someone and then never seeing them again ever. Never crossing paths with them, nothing. You never see them out. It's like, wow. You were never meant to be in my timeline at all.
Hey babe, so I want to tell you about the worst fallout I've ever had with a friend. And I want to tell you because I want your honest thoughts and opinions and your insight about it. So I was at a dinner, and it was actually my birthday dinner that she took me to because she was out of town for my birthday, so she wanted to take me to dinner, right? We go to this little cafe, really nice cafe, right? We had reservations, but the reservation wasn't ready. So we go to the bar, grab a drink, and eventually our waiter comes over. She introduces herself to us, takes us over to our table. Where our reservation was, it was like a big booth, a big circle booth. So as I'm scooching into this big booth, I'm hearing the waiter and my homegirl talking, have you been here before, da-da-da. And I'm hearing, no, sir, I haven't been here before. Shoot. And then I'm hearing, yes, sir. Sirs, right? Now, in my mind, I'm not thinking about it, babe, because my homegirl is one of them people that she talks on her, AirPod and won't even let you know that she's talking on her AirPod. So you won't even know who she's talking to. So I'm not really thinking nothing of it. So we sit down, I go to the bathroom. By the time I come back, I'm hearing my homegirl saying, "Sir, can you please bring us some straws?" Now, again, I'm not thinking nothing of it because, I'm thinking maybe she's calling out to one of the other servers, could you grab us some straws on your way back? I'm not thinking nothing of it, right? Well, as I sit down from the bathroom, she comes over and she's just like, "Well, ma'am, excuse me, may I ask, why do you keep saying sir?" Babe, without an attitude, without thought, my homegirl looked over at that girl and said, "Well, isn't that what you are?" It was like I was in a different realm out of nowhere. I remember I just shut down. I was just looking at her because I just couldn't believe what I just heard coming from the person who I'm sitting in front of. So she responds back like, "No, ma'am. I identify as a transgender woman. I'd like you to address me as she, her, or you can address me as by my name." Babe, without thought, my homegirl responds, "Oh, no, sir. I don't participate in any of that delusion that you guys have going on. I don't, participate in that, but thank you." So she responds back, "Well, I would appreciate if you at least address me by my name." And then she eventually walks off, right? Now, I'm stuck looking at my homegirl like, and I remember I looked up, "Are you okay? Like, what? Are you okay? Before we even go forward, are you okay?" She says, "Yes, I'm perfectly fine." "Are you okay? Because you acting like you didn't know that was a man." Pointing at her. Now, babe, I don't get embarrassed easily. I don't. I'm not one that gets embarrassed easily at all. But a situation like this, I was mortified. I was so embarrassed, babe. I was humiliated. Because I'm like, I can't believe that I'm sitting in a restaurant, breaking bread, for a celebratory birthday dinner with someone with such low character and didn't know it. So even with all this going on, babe, I wasn't even done with her in this moment because, again, this is somebody that I really cared and loved about. So I'm trying to morally understand, where is this wickedness coming from? Like, is something okay? Has something happened? Or, what's wrong? This is new for you. Remember, I was like, okay, so you can at least address her by her name. You can address her by her preferred name. This girl's like, "Well, I didn't see no name tag." I'm like, "Oh, so now you're trying to gaslight." Because when she came over, she introduced herself. And then she reintroduced herself again, which it wasn't clicking to me that she reintroduced herself again because you kept saying sir. And then she has a name tag on. She has a name tag on. I'm like, let's not fall out because you're being blatantly disrespectful right now. Babe, that was me trying to salvage the relationship. I'm trying to send you warnings like, hey, babe, this girl comes over to try, she's still trying to help us. My homegirl turns to her and says, "Well, may I ask what's your biological name so then I can address you by the name you were born with?" My stomach dropped to my feet. I remember I was floored. She was defeated. I could tell she was just done. She was done. I could tell she had gave it her all. She tried her best. She's trying to keep her job. She just walks away. Manager comes over, and before he can even get into the issue, I was so embarrassed. I said, "Can I please pay for the check? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I'm starting to apologize for her." This girl gets up and says, "Don't apologize for me for no man in no wig," and walks out of the restaurant. So when I get home, babe, I'm outdone to the point I ended up going to sleep, right? I wake up the next morning to a long text message. "I'm so sorry. Please, let's talk about it. I don't want our friendship to go to waste for this, da da da." This whole thing expressing how she wants to salvage our friendship. And at the very bottom, the last sentence of the text message was, "You know how I feel about them people trying to pretend like they something that they not, and I just want you to understand my perspective." So you do this long apology talking about how much our relationship means to you just to end it and double down on what you did.
If you've ever gone through a friendship breakup and haven't had anywhere to talk about it, I would love to talk about it here, because my friendship breakups broke my heart in ways that I never could have seen coming. And nobody ever warned me
about what that would do. There's a million pieces of media that tell us how to get over a romantic ending. There's movies, TVs, books. Where is that for the ends of friendships? Because women's friendships are the emotional foundation of our lives. Men come and go, but we are each other's keepers, each other's safe place, each other's historians, defenders, protectors. And this grief, it's just so homeless. It's wandering, you know, there's nowhere for it to go. It's not like somebody died and so my porch is full of casseroles. It's not like I was just divorced and so I'm given a few days off work. I'm just expected to go on like nothing happened, and nobody notices that my, you know, life partners of 20 something years are gone. There's no social structure to support those of us who have lost friendships like this. And every woman I have spoken to about this has said, this happened to me. And I have never known how to talk about it or who I can talk about it with. And when you're building a romantic relationship, like you're building a house, you lay a trap door into that because you know there's a high chance that eventually something will happen and that house will come down and you need a way out. You don't do that with friendships. You build that house like it's your forever home. And I never expected that to come down. And one day it just did. And it came down on top of me and it nearly killed me. Like, it feels like it's taken me over a year just to dig my way out of the rubble. So, I don't know if there's a great solution, but maybe we could talk about it here and that's a start. You know, because God, the worst thing about this, besides the thing itself, is just feeling like I have to mourn and grieve so much alone. Like every room I walk into, there's this ghost over my shoulder and nobody can see it but me. But it's with me all the time. So, you're welcome to talk about it here. And if this has happened to you, I see you. And it's real and it hurts as bad as you think it does. And you're not crazy for feeling that way.
Unfortunately, if you haven't had an absolutely earth-shattering friendship breakup in your 20s, I do not trust you. It's worse than a breakup. Your memories feel tainted. You are incapacitated. And everybody wants to talk about how painful the breakups are with their romantic partner, but nobody wants to talk about how painful the best friend breakups are. You break up with a boyfriend, you still have those girls, but who do you text when you break up with your best friend? You are the most lonely you will ever be in your whole life. That's the girl you go to brunch with. That's the girl you text every waking thought to. Suddenly they're gone. What are you going to do now? You see, experiencing the loss of a friend makes you understand and cherish the value of a good friend. And so therefore, I fuck with you more because you are a better person for this. I had a very dark and sad friendship breakup about 3 years ago with my childhood best friend who just ghosted me out of nowhere. There was no butting of the heads. There was no clashing. One day we were just texting and the next day we weren't. I followed up with her several times. I would call, I would text, and she just, I think, just decided she didn't want me in her life anymore. And that made me so, so sad because to this day I don't know what happened. I can guess and I can wonder, but I don't know. And so that just made me realize that, like, friendship is fleeting and like we have to hold on and hold our friends dear. I remember thinking when I was going through this friendship breakup, like, this is legitimately more painful than a romantic breakup. And I think it's because, like, you know, female friendship bonds are so deep. But what's crazy is when you're going through a friendship breakup, you are literally going through the 5 stages of grief. You're in denial. You're like, no, this isn't real. Like, we're gonna make up and it's gonna be fine. You have anger. You're mad at them. I don't really know what stage of grief this is, but you kind of like flounder trying to find new friends, trying to like figure out like who you are without this person. And then you kind of come to acceptance where you're like, I wish them well. And if you've never experienced a loss like this, that's so great and so painful of losing a best friend, I'm happy for you, but I don't think that we can connect. Like, I don't think that we understand each other, you know? Friendship breakups, man, there's nothing like them.
Here's my hot take on friendships. Some friendships expire. We think every close friend has to be a lifelong connection. The truth is, some people are only meant to be part of certain chapters. Strongest friendships, they evolve. They grow with you. And the ones who can't, they fade away for a reason. You don't owe anyone a lifetime spot in your life just because of history. It's okay to outgrow people, and it doesn't have to be messy.
Hot take, but this is not mature. And the only reason we think this is proper communication is because we've normalized ghosting. Listen, conflict resolution is hard as fuck. And assuming that this friend group was not like actively harming or abusing this person, your friends are kind of owed a conversation on why you don't want to be friends no more. It might sound harsh, but being conflict avoidant is not the other person's problem. Like if you struggle setting boundaries or communicating discomfort, which I have been that person so many times, sending that exact text so many times because I, like many people, grew up in a household where I was punished for trying to set boundaries, right? It is a difficult place to be in, and it is a hard skill to learn. But if you are that person who internalizes everything and never speaks up for themselves, and then those feelings quickly turn to resentment, and then one day you're sending these long ass letters listing everything that you don't like about this person and not giving them a chance to respond, you're the asshole.
You cannot be friends with boy crazy girls. Literally every friendship fallout I've ever had, the common denominator was usually because she was boy crazy. These type of girls will prioritize male validation over their female friendships. They're the type of girls to leave you alone at a bar because they ran off with some guy, or pick me girls who will step on you and make you feel bad about yourself to look good in front of a guy. The type of girls who change their behavior the second a dude walks in the room. They're also the type of girls who will flirt with your boyfriend in front of you because they don't care, because they value male validation more than their friendship with you. So if you sense in one of your friends that her entire personality is just getting guys, every time you guys go out, the only thing she's talking about is what guy she's gonna go home with or whose number she's gonna get, I'm telling you right now, you gotta run so far away because you are gonna get burned. You cannot trust boy crazy girls. My best friendships are with girls who either already have boyfriends or guys are not the sole focus of their life. Get a fucking hobby, okay? Dating is not a hobby.
All right, you know what people don't talk about? The bandwagon fallouts. Now, what I mean by that is, you know them fallouts that you have with people and you didn't even really do anything to them, but y'all fall out because they decided to hop on a bandwagon and hate you with another person? Like, that person don't even got smoke with you. They heard somebody else say something bad about you. They wanted a reason to hate you already and they just ran with it. Yeah, that's called the bandwagon fallout. But the funny thing about the bandwagon fallout is the bandwagon ass bitch who couldn't think for herself and just wanted to hop on the bandwagon, they always make a return. And the return is always embarrassing. And the reason I say it's embarrassing is because when they first stop talking to you or when they first cut you off, they really act like they gonna stand on business. Feel me? They'll really say, I don't fuck with that hoe. They'll unfollow you. They'll block you. They'll talk shit about you, the whole nine, right? And they'll even go as far as recruiting more people to hate on you with them because they know deep down they don't even actually have a real reason to hate you. And their guilty conscience is telling them that. So they need other people to comfort them in their weird shit. So, okay, well, if this other girl decides to hate on this girl with me too and she barely knows her, then I can't be that bad, you know? And they do all these things because in reality, they think that your lack of likability is going to stop your success. They think that if they band enough people to hate you with them, that you won't succeed in life. They gonna be the monkey that stopped the show. And when they come to realize that they ain't the monkey that stopped the show, when they start to see that you're still succeeding, you're still getting LLCs, you still getting your degree, you still got a good job, you just got a new house, you just got a paid off car, like you're still winning regardless. It's as if they left no debt in your life when they left, right? And when they start to see that, that's when they make their return. Because now they want to reap the benefits of the good life that you have. And it's always embarrassing because it's like, girl, didn't you used to talk shit about me? Didn't you say you hated me so bad? Now you want to be my friend? Now you all up in my DMs talking about something, oh, you're so pretty, we should hang out? Or sometimes they won't even say anything, but they'll watch you though. Like, girl, you the one that unadded me.
You the one that unfriended me. You the one that blocked me. Why do I see your main page in my story views every single day if you're the one that unadded me? What was the point of unadding me if you was still gonna watch? Like, girl, that's like canceling a subscription, but you still going to the streaming service. Make it make sense. And the reason they do this, even though it sounds so backwards and so weird as fuck, I gotta get you in the mind of a weirdo, okay? So you understand how they think. The reason they do this is because oftentimes bandwagon ass bitches don't think for themselves. And oftentimes they like to follow a trend. What's trending, what's popular. So when you start winning, that's when they want to be around you because now it's popular to support you. And their ego cannot watch somebody that they used to have access to live a rich and successful life that they now have to watch from afar. And I want y'all to really listen to that. A lot of people really do be bitter about the fact that they're not a part of the journey anymore. They're not a part of the story. And they once had so much close access to the story. They had so much close access to the journey. And they did some weird shit and you removed them out your life. Now they don't have access to it no more and they got to watch you like a fan. Kind of like Safari and Nicki Minaj. That nigga can't get over her. He won't stop talking about her. You want to know why? Because he used to be a part of the story. He used to be a part of the journey. Now he has to watch from afar like a fan. And that messes up the bandwagon bitch's mind up. Because they counted you out in the beginning. And they thought you wasn't going to be the trend. They thought you wasn't going to be the popular one. So they went with what they thought was popular. And turns out they was just following a hater the whole time. A hater that ain't doing shit while you keep succeeding. And they don't have no access to it. And that kills them the most. And that's why you do have to beware of the bandwagon ass bitches who do not think for themselves. You do. But yeah.
Even with friendships, I don't think we talk enough about the reality that it does hurt to lose a friendship. Like, it does hurt to sit here and realize that certain people can't come into the next chapters of your life. It hurts to sit and think that there are certain people who you've seen and imagined in your life in the most sincere and soft ways possible, but knowing that now these people no longer belong there. There's a grief in letting those things go and healing from that, because I know that we want those people there. There's no situation where you see someone that you love genuinely in your life and have so much respect for or so much admiration for, and then have to realize that they don't fit in this next stage, that they're not a part of the thing that's supposed to be healed in you. And I know letting that go has to be harder than most relationships, right? Most romantic relationships, because that is a reality. That's not something that you ever saw. That you couldn't have perceived that thing being there. But sometimes we don't heal from those things because we haven't allowed ourselves to fully grieve it and bury it.
Guys, it's literally almost a year since my best friend ghosted me. Nearly a whole year has gone by. No contact whatsoever with her. None. I'm still blocked on pretty much everything. Everyone who knows about this story will know that it was a silly little argument and I tried reaching out and I couldn't reach out to her. It was just silly. I won't go into it, but it was just it didn't need to get the way that it did. And I apologised, even though it wasn't fully my fault. I just wanted to make amends. And she blocked me. I've not seen her. I've not heard from her for nearly a year. Pretty much coming up to a year. My sister's spotted her a few times, but nothing's really got said. But I have not seen her, like, in the flesh for coming up for a year, which is so weird. It's so weird. I feel like I've got confirmation now and I've like moved on and I'm not upset anymore about it. But obviously, like, when it was like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 2 months, I was like praying that she got back in touch with me. But I've just realised that she wasn't meant to be in my life, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. You can make friends later on in life. Like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to make another best friend. But, yeah, nearly a whole year.
The real reason no one ever falls out with you is because you're the safe friend. You're not a threat. You're very predictable. You go along with the flow. You don't stand up for yourself. You'd never say no. You're a people pleaser. No one will ever fall out with you. You don't have to worry about anything, actually. And if that's your vibe, that's great. But the day that you decide, because it's going to come, that you want to have healthy boundaries, that you want to say no, that you want to have an original thought, that you want to take the road less traveled. If everybody's going to Dubai, I don't want to go to Dubai. I want to go to the North Pole. They will make trouble for you for that. You are never supposed to make them look inward. You are never supposed to expose or exploit their own jealousy and insecurities. And if you do that, you then become a threat. And that's when the shade starts. And that's when the backbiting starts. And that's when the low-key competition, no one competes with you. That is the number one indicator that no one sees you if no one is trying to compete with you. And if you're competing with them, they don't even notice it. See, this is what I'm saying, baby. No one would ever fall out with you. They simply don't see you.
You're not going to give anybody as many chances as you're going to give that friend that you used to be so close with, but now y'all are just drifting apart. Friendship breakups suck, and we always normalize like necessarily getting in an argument with somebody and falling out, but why do we never talk about the essence of like somebody silently kind of falling back on you and not really saying anything? They stop answering calls like they used to, they start telling you they're going to call you back, and they never really call you back, and overall you just kind of sit back and you're like, wow, like this is crazy. I used to be so close with this person, and now I see us drifting apart. You hold on to this relationship, and even though like they'll call sporadically, them giving you a call in general just makes you feel like they are kind of necessarily putting in effort, so you hold on to it a lot longer than what you should have had. You know, it kind of hits you at like, it's an endless cycle of you complaining about not getting reached out to, or just complaining about them not answering your calls or communicating with you and making time for other people in their life but not making time for you. And you realize that like things will never actually change. It's weird because you don't necessarily resent them or have a problem with them, because it's like you still have love for them. You just acknowledge that you have to love them from a distance. I don't think that love ever really fades, because like, you know, you're always one call away, but you definitely have to set up boundaries and not reach out as consistently as you used to, because now it starts to, in a way, kind of wear and tear your mental health, because you feel like you're overextending yourself for somebody that doesn't care about you as much. It's very weird, but I think at the end of the day, you know, regardless of the fact, our life is a constant evolution process, and you know, some people grow out of each other, and I guess you got to be content with the ones that you didn't expect to grow out of you.
Something they don't tell you about friendship breakups that they should is even after the friendship breakup has ended, you've gone through your healing process, you feel pretty over it, you know, you're at the point where there's no hard feelings, what's done is done, it's happened for the best, etc., etc. You don't realize that in the future, when you're trying to make new friends, the subconscious lies that you've carried with you from that friendship breakup haunt you. And what I mean by that is, again, even if your conscious mind feels pretty over it, your subconscious mind is still holding on to the feelings that the breakup gave you. So for example, my friendship breakup left me feeling like I was too much, like my excitement was too much, I was asking for too much, my emotions were too much, my everything was too much. And so I've noticed that in the midst of making new friendships, I'm holding back a lot of myself, and I've attributed it to my subconscious mind telling me, if you show your full self, they will see you as too much and they will run away. But I need to remember, and I think we all can take a moment to remember when those lies start infiltrating your head. They're lies. Don't believe them. Name them for what they are. Say it out loud and say that's not true. And also remind yourself that any future friend, any meaningful relationship you make from this point forward will covet you and appreciate you for all the things that friendship breakup, that friendship did not appreciate you for. And that's saving you from future hurt.